Hi, welcome back to Unit 4. This is Section 4, Lesson 1, and the first video for this lesson. This is Ms. Clemens-Brenton, and in this video we'll look at how to calculate surface area of triangular prisms. To calculate the surface area of a triangular prism, we first need to determine the formulae that are needed. So as seen here with the net of this triangular prism, we have 3 rectangles and 2 triangles. So first of all, we recall that a triangle has a base and a height, and the base and height are perpendicular to one another. So wherever that 90-degree angle is formed, that's where the base and height intersect. So remember the formula from previous years. To find the area of a triangle, it's base times height divided by 2. And if you recall from the previous lesson, every rectangle has a length and width, and to find the area of a rectangle, we multiply the length by width. So to calculate the surface area of a triangular prism by using a net, we first need to draw the individual pieces of the prism. So I'll draw that first triangle, and I can see that the measures of that triangle are 12 by 6. So I'll write those in. The rectangle attached to the bottom of that triangle would measure 12 by 15. Then I'll draw in the rectangle here on the right-hand side, and those measures are 10 by 15. And then the rectangle here on the left, that's 7.2 by 15. And I know that this side here is 15 because it's parallel to this side. So we can just write that in. I then have one side left, and that's the triangle on the back. That is identical to the triangle in the front. So when I draw that one, the measures are also 12 by 6. So I can now use my net to find the area of the individual pieces. So the net allows us to see all the pieces at one time. So a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So looking at my triangle, I can see that my base and height are 12 by 6. So 12 times 6 divided by 2, that gives me 36. And of course I have 2 triangles. So 36 times 2, I get 72 meters squared. I'll then focus on one of the rectangles. This rectangle over here on the right hand side, we'll call that rectangle number 1. That's length times width, so 10 times 15. That gives me 150 meters squared. Rectangle number 2, we'll call that the rectangle here in the middle. So that's 12 by 15. 12 times 15 is 180 meters squared. This third rectangle here on the left, so we'll say rectangle number 3, 7.2 times 15. Multiply those together and I get 108 meters squared. So then to find a total surface area of that triangular prism, I have to add all my sides together. So the total surface area is 72 plus 150 plus 180 plus 108. So the total surface area is 510 meters squared. So that's the total surface area of our triangular prism. You have to remember to write in your units squared in your final answer. We can also find the surface area of a triangular prism without using a net. So I would just focus on the individual pieces. I wouldn't actually draw it out. So to do that, I'll look at the triangle here on the front first. The base and height is 12 by 6. So again, the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base and height, 12 by 6 divided by 2. That gives me 36. And of course, there are 2 triangles. So 36 times 2 is 72 meters squared. I'll then focus on this rectangle here on the right. I'll call this rectangle number 1. And to find the area of a rectangle, it's 10 by 15. 10 by 15 is 150 meters squared. Next, I'll focus on this rectangle here on the left. That's 7.2 by 15, because again, this side is parallel to 15. So I can write that in. So rectangle number 2 is 7.2 times 15, and that gives me 108 meters squared. The third rectangle is the rectangle underneath the triangular prism. So I'll call that rectangle number 3. And rectangle number 3, the length and width are 12 by 15. 12 times 15 is 180 meters squared. So again, to calculate our total surface area, we add all those numbers together. So 72 plus 150 plus 108 plus 180, and that gives us 510 meters squared. So that is the total surface area of our triangular prism. And again, make sure you write in your units at the end. So it has to be units squared. Please proceed to the next video in this lesson.